Tomato, potato. How's that for jumping right in this morning? Take that, Andrew, wherever you are. You son of a bitch. What's up, who let the rats out? What's up, Marnette? What's up, Braxer Man? Mark T. Frog. I like Mark T. Frog. Good. Marnette's hasn't shipped yet. How's everybody doing today? Missed you guys yesterday. Good morning, everyone, for real, says Mark. Super busy today. We'll be quiet. Me too. What's up, Brief Relief? Thank you for the sub. Pud Pocket, G.I. Joder, CRMX2ZN. I can't fucking read the red. Red on black, so hard to read. 7 Big Style from Braxer Man. Thank you so much. Thank you. The Braxer Man. Afternoon already in the UK. You guys are so far ahead of us. One and only. What's up, Daydreamer? Figure we'll do something a little different this morning. Just kidding. We're going to play TCG Card Simulator again. That's all we do. The thing I sent is ready for pickup, Geoff. Hell yeah. Thank you, Mark. Excited. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Hamstroker. Let's Marnette can talk to you about that a little bit. That's crushing in the moment, but it just means that you haven't found the right job yet. And if we maintain our persistence and our positive attitude and our diligence, we'll get there. What's up, Dustin L? Afternoon from Dubai. Afternoon from Austin, Texas, Scary Leon. Got my earbuds today. Fuck that place. They don't deserve you. Marnette knows. Almost done with your 45-day rehab program? Fuck yeah. That's awesome, Pud Pocket. Congratulations. You're stuck on TCG cards. It is pretty addicting. I agree. Hey, Geoff, had a question about blindsides. Could you potentially blindside and do a podcast episode? You mean do a blindside with a podcast? Like I'm blindsiding you with a podcast? No, that's outside of the boundaries of the rules. A blindside can only be a form of video entertainment, be a television, movie, etc., public service announcement, or a video game of some kind. $5:53 in the morning where I'm at. Hope you're doing good. I'm doing great. I'm doing great. It's 7:53 here. I've been up for about an hour. Had a little breakfast. Had a kiwi. I'm trying to do these kiwis every day for breakfast because they're so good for you. I'm supposed to eat 2 a day. I only had 1 today. And then I had some Eggo waffles. Geoff, have you heard of a Steam game called Primal Repair? No, I haven't. The mug today is Fire in the Hole from Silver Dollar City in Branson, Missouri. It's Hillbilly Disney. My wife grew up going there, so she loves it. We went 2 years ago. Green or golden kiwi? I don't know. I don't know the difference. It's store-bought kiwi. Probably golden. Los Vampiros de Habana. I've never heard of it, Mark. It's a Cuban vampire movie? That sounds cool. When was it made? Why does the mug have a dick? Oh, that's not a dick. That's a fire hose, which is a euphemism for a dick, I guess. Because it's fire in the hole. It's about firefighters. Geoff eating healthy? I'm not eating healthy. I don't really eat healthy. I just need to eat breakfast, and I want something quick and easy. And I saw this video that said that boiled eggs, which I like, Mark knows about that, and kiwis were like superfoods for breakfast. And I bought some eggs, but I ran through them. I still have kiwis, so I'm still eating them. But at some point, you got to care a little bit, you know? You gotta, you know, I'm halfway, I'm over halfway to the century mark, so I got to start paying some kind of attention. I do not eat the kiwi skins. That's gross. I scoop it. When you were living in Mobile, did you ever go to Biloxi for the casinos? They were built in my lifetime. remember my parents went once or twice, but no, I was never into that scene. There wasn't. I wanted to go a lot further than Biloxi. I'll say it that way. Biloxi was right in the middle of part of my universe I didn't want to be in. Cuban animated vampire movie from 1985, released in America in 1987. I'll look it up, Mark. Epic Nimmon says, giving up my regulation listener card, but just wanted to tell you that you are a shining example of positive masculinity. Oh, well, thank you, Epic Nimmons. But there's more. You love your family openly and deeply. That is true. I do love them. Always try to take care of others when you can. I do. And own your demons and mistakes. I hope I can emulate how you live life. Well, I just hope you live life the way that makes sense to you, Epic Nimmons. I appreciate the kind words. Thank you so much. Make me feel all warm and fuzzy inside. That's masculine, right? I'm feeling warm inside. I'm not crying. But if you haven't tried the new peanut butter and apple ones, they are amazing. There you go. From the Otter Misfit. I eat 300 calories for breakfast, 300 calories for lunch, then 900 for dinner, and I'm down 30 pounds this year, and it's great. Congratulations. I don't know that I could exist on 1,500 calories a day, but that's awesome if you can maintain that. And that's healthy, assuming that's healthy. Hard time out today, Braxton, man. Thank you for asking. 10:15. Until this Mario Party thing is over, it'll be 10:15s. I almost visited a friend in Biloxi a number of years ago, but canceled the trip after reports of roaming clan violence. I live in Maumelle, Arkansas. There's a town like 30 minutes away that has a festival in May called Toadsuck Days. Oh. I think that might be the weirdest festival I've ever heard of, actually. I don't know that I have one that takes the cake. I'm super excited right now to get to view a place to move tomorrow. Finally moving out of home. Congratulations, Lee Hudson. That's awesome. Emily and I toured a couple of houses this weekend in Austin, a couple of open houses. You know, we're looking to buy a house again. Got close. We got close enough to have like a serious ass conversation about a place, but I don't think it's for us. Hey, Geoff. This is Psychic. Psychic Deleasing. Hey, Geoff, I hope you're doing good. I have an interview scheduled with my local sheriff's office. Oh, and I have hopes of becoming an officer tomorrow. Enjoy watching you over the years since the great days of 2012. Good luck on the interview. That sounds like a incredibly stressful but, you know, important job if you do it right. So fingers crossed, and we'll be rooting for you. I was in Tennessee as well. Some got arrested on our college campus. I must be talking about the Klan again. Hey, Geoff. So I did find out that there is a sports card mod on the Steam version of this game. It was made in late March. Hopefully they port it to the Xbox. That'd be awesome. Finished Outside not long ago. Good luck, man. Never trying to do that again. I've been doing it on and off. We've been doing it, honestly. I talk about it here constantly, Lawn Slayer, but we've been doing it for over 3 years. We're trying to buy a place in Michigan. We just haven't found it. And I've started looking in Austin again just because regulation's doing well and Emily's got a business and I'm not as... My exit of Austin isn't nearly as imminent or as prominent as I thought it would be. So I'm looking to buy again here, I think. Also difficult to do. Hard place to buy a house right now, Austin, Texas. Trenchy McTrenchcoat says, last night the bakery at my work had to throw out a bunch of product. They had pies, cobblers, donuts, and even eclairs. They all were scanned and just needed to be physically taken to the dumpster. I got a bag full of stuff. Went to stuff it in my backpack. Alas, I flew too close to the sun, and at the end of the night, I came back to blueberry juice all over my backpack. Everything was ruined. My greed was immense. Well, you weren't being greedy. You were going to take it to a homeless shelter, which was just a kindness that you were doing. So I absolutely should have bought Retro Rewind while it was on sale. Oh, yeah. We can get around to that at some point. As someone who's from Mobile and lives in Biloxi, now you're such an inspiration. I can't wait to leave. You know, I those places weren't great for me, Skylar, but that doesn't mean they're not good for other people. Like, I have a lot of personal... I have a personal vendetta against where I grew up, but I understand that it's just me. Like, my cousin he grew up in Mobile as well. We grew up in the same family, obviously, and he still goes back and hey, Albert visits and has very positive feelings towards Alabama. I don't. It's just, but I don't begrudge his. You know, it just wasn't good for me, but it can be a good place for good people. It just wasn't a good place for this person. There is no perfect home. I'm not looking for the perfect home, Caesar. I'm just looking for an affordable home that checks off the criteria that we need. Having a terrible morning as a Knicks fan. Ooh. Rough to be. Knicks and Nuggets got surprised last night. Is that fake Albert? That's just Albert. First time catching live. Hell yeah, Mark's nuts. Albert's getting on the couch on his own again. Yeah, that's his spot until I leave. Good morning from Cincinnati. Hello, Cincinnati. 34th birthday off by happy birthday, hey, everybody. It's Quind 46's birthday. Happy birthday, Quind. Everybody wish Quind a happy birthday. 34. It's a good one. You're almost halfway through your 30s. That's exciting. Need an NBA breakdown on low. You know, E-Night by day, I should. One of the things about ending so all right is I used to do a lot of sports breakdowns. I had a lot of fun doing it. And I don't think, my brain doesn't think in that way anymore because I'm just enjoying, not thinking critically. And because I'm not going to have to, I don't anticipate talking about it. So I also, to be honest with you, I watched more hockey than basketball last night. I watched that, I watched the Penguins game, about 2 periods of it, and then I watched the Senators game because it went to double overtime. It was intense. Nothing more intense than playoff hockey, man. Matty Fettuccini says, happy birthday. Hell yeah. Everybody say happy birthday. That's right. Everybody's doing a great job. I used to live in Alabama, says former Yeti, just outside of Columbus, Georgia, and actually enjoyed it. The wife worked at the vet school in Auburn. There you go. I hear Auburn's a nice area. I've never been up there. Your bakery should look into Good to Go. It's an app that allows people to buy food that would have been thrown out for cheap. Oh, never heard of that. That's cool. First time chatter says, Geoff, be real. How much did you pay off Archie for that Mario Party turn? No shit, Alex. That was crazy. That was fucking crazy. And I'll be honest, 7 wasn't the number I was going to pick. I just pivoted immediately because how do you say no to a kid? But thank God he steered me right because I would not be in the situation that I'm in right now. And I have more money than I've ever seen in a Mario Party. Checking in from Birmingham. What's up, Birmingham? Toasty snow. Rumor at work is layoffs may be coming, so I may have way more free time on my hands. I hope that's not the case, Gwen. I mean, everybody wants free time, Gwendolyn, but you don't want to get it at the cost of being laid off. So hopefully that rumor finds itself to be unfounded. That was very kind of you, Greeky Floorbird. Ham Stroker just listened to an episode of Saw Right from the start of the year, and you talked about an album you used to listen to a lot called Cure for Pain. And my God, when I say I cry, it's a great album. Morphine, Cure for Pain. I listened when I rediscovered and started listening to that again. When I did that episode, I probably had a solid month of just nothing but morphine. I think I probably drove everybody around me crazy. Felt like I was 19 again. I think Eric mentioned it to Andrew, but I highly recommend you watch. Yeah, Eric's been talking about that Nirvana, the band, the show, the movie thing for a while. We'll get around to it. I was worried that I'd taken the name a bit too far, but after the Prison Break stream, I'm just going to give out heartfelt encouragement. It says, come addicted Bowdorian. Good morning from drought-ridden Gainesville, Florida. Good morning from drought-ridden Austin, Texas, too. I just got a flood warning notification. Not where I live, but for the city. I never got into Tame Impala on my Stuffed Tacos. It's a cool name, though. Good morning from Reno. Geoff, mayhaps is a trip out here to catch an Aces baseball game a potential outing. I also thank you for the entertainment all these years. You know, I've always had a little bit of an interest in Reno. There are some good punk bands to come out of Reno in the 90s that I really enjoyed. Zoinks came out of Reno. And I don't know. Then Reno 911 was a really funny show for a while. And I don't know. I found out there's an allure to Reno for me, just in like the kitschy, big little town. vibe of it all. Baby Vegas. Oh, CRMX ZN says, Geoff, I met Jack in Atlanta in September at MagicCon. I told him, I didn't know, oh, Jack was at MagicCon? We used to do that at RT a lot. I told him September of 2010, you and Jack changed my life. I found AH. You and everyone there gave me an incredibly happy and fun outlook on gaming. Oh, well, thank you. Playing around with friends and good times through the hard times and the good times. You, Gavin, Jack, Trevor, Michael. Sorry, it keeps moving on me. And the entire RTAH team gave me a positive outlook to life. I appreciate you more than you could imagine. I appreciate you more than you could possibly imagine. I promise you that. It's just a well of appreciation, going back and forth. Maddie Fettuccini says, good morning from Winnipeg. Nice weather today. Congratulations. Winnipeg's getting the good weather. Yeah, I'm sure you guys deserve it. Reno 911 and My Name is Earl are the best early 2000s shows. There you go. I never got into My Name is Earl. I went to Reno recently, and a local told me they had to ban whips because the homeless people were whipping each other. That's really funny. Recently found Blonde Redhead and love their music. Any recommendations for anything similar? Oh, let me think about that. DR, let me think about that. I enjoy Blonde Redhead, but I don't know their catalog super well. The Well of Appreciation in the Valley of Interest? I believe it is. Do you have any advice on not getting discouraged following an interview? Is there anything you can suggest to keep? You know, honestly, I think that the people in the group here, Marnette, Wungus, some of the people that have been kind of going through a similar situation would probably be able to offer you some salient, like real world, in the moment advice because they're currently have gone like literally gone through exactly what you're experiencing right now. And I'll be honest, I haven't applied for a job in 28 years, so I feel archaic in that way. You saw somebody practicing with a whip in the park. I saw, I think I talked about this in the podcast maybe 6 months ago, but you saw homeless people with whips. I saw a bunch of homeless people with hockey sticks on the trail one day swinging them around. I thought that was really weird. 7 streams is a start to 100 streams. That's true. Do you read any books with Emily? My wife's gotten me into listening to her fantasy smut books with her. No. Emily and I have very different tastes when it comes to that kind of thing. And so, no, we don't have a lot of literary crossover. She does not like the books I read, I would wager. And I am not into the books that she reads, but I support her reading, and I know she supports me reading. But yeah, that's a thing that we have separate interests there. Emily, boom. I'm reading the 4th Wing series with my wife right now. Those are popular books. Hey, Geoff, are you a car guy? I like cars. I'm done with cars. I don't. I grew up in Alabama, a kid who wanted to read comic books and play video games in a family of people who built and did everything with their hands. So from the moment I got my first car, I was forced to work on it constantly with my grandfather or my dad or my uncle, and I hated it. I'd love to go back and do those things with those people now. You know, I didn't appreciate the time that I had it, but I just hated working on cars. And so I love driving them. I have cars I love. I just don't like to tinker on them. So I don't know if that makes me a car guy or not. Have you ever read West with Giraffes? I have not. Oh, speaking of which, for anybody out there, I have that. I was cleaning up my house the other day, and I have that Horus Rising book that I finished. Right, I'm going to move on to the second one. I haven't started it yet, Mark, but I'll get there. It's been just a lot of busy that's kept me from reading the last couple of weeks, Mark. But I have Horus Heresy. It's in good shape. Does anybody want it? If you have never read that Horus Heresy book and you're interested in it, it's called Horus Rising. It's the first in a series of Warhammer 30K. 40K, but 30K, I guess. Let me know. Send an email to eric@geoffsboss.com with an address, a mailing address, and I'll send it to you. Because I was just going to donate it to Goodwill, but I'd rather give it to somebody in the community if y'all want it. So if, don't take it if you don't want it. But if somebody's looking to read that book and they genuinely want my copy of it, I'll mail it out this week. Just like I said, eric@geoffsboss.com is where you can send an email with any kind of. Mark, if you want it, I'll send it to you. If nobody else wants to read it, yeah, just send whoever sends me. Tell you what, whoever's address shows up first in my inbox is who I'll give it to. That's an expensive book. That is true, Mark. I had to buy it on the secondary market. It wasn't readily available, so I had to spend some extra money for it. I'd be happy to give it to you, Mark, if you want it. Just send a. All right. I think Mark's claiming it, but yeah, just eric@geoffsboss.com is the email address. Are they worth a read, Dustin? I wouldn't have said so before, but I really enjoyed. Mark kind of tricked me into reading this one, and I really enjoyed it so much so that I bought the second one. And so I don't think it was $10, Braxton, man. I think I paid more for it. It wasn't available new. I had to buy it like on a secondary seller. I think I paid. That'll work, Mark. That's great. I don't remember how much I paid for it, but I remember being surprised how much I had to pay for it. It also took a long fucking time to get it, if I remember correctly. Yeah, I have the second one in my downstairs, Braxton, man, like next to my keys. I just have to identify the time to sit and read it. There's been a lot going on with life and work. We've been doing. I don't think we've talked about it too much, but we've been doing, obviously we got the Mario Party every day, which is an anchor that makes the entire day difficult. But we've also been recording the entirety of season 2 of Fuck Face Off in the background. Like we're pretty much up to, where we need to be. We got it done, but we've been doing we got the Spring Golf League, we've got Fuck Face Off season 2 and Mario Party March and April, all recording and happening in the same month behind the scenes. And so you've also wanted my address to send me death metal, so it works out perfect. I don't have that shirt yet, so I'll yeah, are we talking about the the black? Do you want the black on white or the white on black? I think it would have to be the black on white, the new one, the one you recommended. And I don't know that that's in yet. So let me get back to you on that one, but I'll at least send the book immediately. Free hugs, Ryder. Thank you. Does anyone want to know my address? Have you watched the new Mall show? I know you don't care that much about Star Wars anymore, but it's awesome. Oh, I haven't. I wasn't aware that there was one. Honestly. Okay, Mark. Thanks. Send me, put your size in next to your address, just so I'll remember in the mod chat. Be careful, you'll wind up with a porta potty. I'm no Andrew. I'm not sending that fucking thing. I used to read a lot of fantasy and sci-fi when I was younger, but as an adult, I mostly read standards and classics, I guess, would be how I describe it. Oh, you make a Mandalorian armor. That's cool. Hey, Geoff, I was wondering, could I ask your advice on something? I'd ask my dad, but he's an asshole. Surely. He can ask me something. And 300 people in chat. I hope you brought enough questions for the whole class. I love how often we talk about books here. Me too. Do we still have the porta potty? We do. It's in the garage at the office. We wanted to put it in the office, but it won't fit into the office. And so we've talked about taking it apart and then rebuilding it in the office. But the only way to do that is it's riveted, is to de-rivet the entire thing and then re-rivet it, which is way beyond our abilities. However, Gavin bought a riveter, so we could theoretically do it tomorrow. I just don't know. We just haven't. What's up, Cold 199? Who let the rats out? I just said your name and then I didn't read what you said. Dumb idea for a rental suit. Geoff, you watch $1 Million Secret on Netflix at all? I watched season 1. I haven't watched season 2 yet. I didn't finish season 1 because I thought it was a cool idea, poorly implemented. I will definitely watch season 2 because I've read that it's better and they've improved upon the format. So I'll check it out. I'm a sucker for any of those reality competition shows. I'm currently, though, last night I watched, in between basketball and hockey, I watched an episode or 2 of the new season of Temptation Island, which I am so fucking into. I'm so hooked on. We're on episode 7 now, and I cannot wait for the reunion. Ugh. Which city has the best punk lineup, and why is it DC? Is it DC? Yeah, they have a pretty strong case. Let's say DC, New York, Boston, Chicago, all of California. Like, segment it up however you want. It's a hotbed of punk rock. Austin had a pretty big scene back in the day. We had the Big Boys and the Dicks and Millions of Dead Cops and Buttle Surfers. I would throw in that mix, and Daniel Johnson, and then of course there was like the '90s punk revival in Austin. But if you're looking at like the history of a city, I'm pretty partial to DC, and I'm pretty partial to Chicago. DC gave me Bad Brains, gave me Minor Threat, gave me Fugazi, gave me Egghead, Paleface, SOA. Embrace, Rites of Spring, One Last Wish. Yeah, DC be hard to beat. DC's pretty badass. Have you been to all 50 states? I don't think so. Pretty close, I would imagine. Pretty close. So I've been to Hawaii and Alaska, and so those are the tough ones, right? It would probably be like I don't think I've ever been to Vermont or Maine. North Dakota, I don't think I ever went to. Oh boy, here we go. Lee Hudson's question. All right, everybody buckle in. Let's give this the attention it deserves. All right. So next year, so this is 2027. One of my closest friends has decided that he's going to invite me, one of my ex-girlfriends to the party. Now, for context, it turns out my so-called best friend from high school had been sending intimate messages to her, which she was responding to in the same way. So my question is as follows. What would you suggest I do? One of my mate's partners seems to think that my ex and I could get back together, but I don't know. Man, it's a hard question to answer because I don't know any of the people involved. We're talking about a party next year. Let me make sure I read that properly. So next year, one of my closest friends has decided that he's going to invite one of my ex-girlfriends to the party. Well, you got a year to figure it out. So that's nice. Do you like this ex? You say that like people seem to think that you and your ex could get back together, but what do you think? Do you want to get back together with that person? It sounds like you guys broke up for a reason. And I'll be honest with you, the way you structured the question, you put should I get back together with my ex at the very bottom, which to me, and I'm inferring here, so I apologize, but to me that lends me to believe that was the least important part of the question because you got to it last. So I think the thing that you seem to be struggling with is my friend texting my ex-girlfriend something I should be okay with. And man, everybody has different feelings about that. I don't know how long you were together. I don't know how serious the relationship was. I don't know who your friend is and what kind of relationship you guys have together. But I would wager if you like both of those people and they like each other and you aren't still heartbroken over a breakup, let them maybe they're meant to be together. You know, I don't know. Here you go. Braxton, Blazer Kintsugi says, I'm getting a no and that you're uncomfortable with them connecting, let alone attending your event. Yeah. I mean, it seems you could easily say, like, I think it's weird that you would invite this person to the party. But is it their party or your party? I'm not clear on that. You can't dictate who they invite to their party. But if it's a party for you, then that's a different story. But I'm of the opinion that X's are usually X's for a reason. You know, like for whatever reason, it didn't work out with y'all. And if it didn't work out, and if your friend wasn't the reason it didn't work out, then yeah, I don't know. What's up, Johan Bach? Ads? Hold on. No more ads. Okay. So yeah, that's a tough one. Thank you for the gift, briefly, to Longest Bill. That's a tough one. Like I said, we don't know. I feel like we don't know enough information. I will say that I've had people that I know date exes of mine in the past. And I wasn't upset about it. I was surprised not to be upset about it. I found it didn't bother me. Very kind of you, Atticus Exotic Finch. Sammy says, today I found out one of my work friends got fired for drinking on the job. I never noticed anything, and I don't have a way to contact him now. I'm worried, but I don't know what to do. You can't contact him on social media? Maybe? All right. Maybe we should play some video games now that we're 32 minutes into this stream. Beaver says, I've dated a girl a few different times, and she always ended the relationship in the same way. Regulation Rat says, I could go for some advice too. So I'm debating quitting my software development job to start a small landscaping business with my sister. We are just talking about it right now, but I am a bit wary of starting a whole business. Do you have clients and the prospect of revenue coming in soon? How long do you think it'll take you to replace your income? And I'm assuming you're not expecting to replace your salary one for one out the gate, but like, what do you think the chances are you'll be able to pay the bills and survive there? I will say, knowing nothing about this landscaping business, thank you for the sub, Strafe. Nothing about the landscaping business. I will say, my financial advisor, who I had some real issues with, and I was probably going to fire because I didn't think he was a very good financial advisor, quit being a financial advisor while I was on the precipice of firing him, was replaced by my current financial advisor, who is awesome and who's basically a family friend after all these years, been helping my family for 15 years now. Thank you for the sub, Cyberon. But that guy quit to start a landscaping business. And every once in a while, I'll check in with my financial advisor and go, how's old so-and-so doing? And they keep in touch, and apparently happier than he's ever been, and loves landscape so much more than financial advice, and really thrived with it. So it's the only experience I have with a similar type situation. Software development job will always be there. I like Jeff's advice. I'd assume the salary would be decent lower in the new job for a while. If you've got a cushion for it and you're ready for it, and you think that the software development is, I mean, it's a good backup plan, you know? I don't know. I'm a follow your dreams kind of guy, but probably only because they mostly worked out for me. I'm a little hesitant to, I don't know. Giving advice can be heady. It could be a scary thing. I don't want to send anybody off on the wrong path, but sounds like you and your sister get along well. You work well together. Is your sister going to share the burden, and you guys are going to do 50-50 and support each other and have each other's backs and not fight? And If you guys have a great working relationship, I will say it can be difficult to work with friends and family, but it can also be awesome. This is a guy who started 2 businesses with friends, and so it hasn't stopped me from doing it. It can be frustrating, but it can be also the best feeling in the world. Christopher Tat and Geoff, of course. How do you guys deal with burnout? Like complete brain fog, lack of motivation, little joy, etc. I dealt with it with very destructively with drugs and alcohol, or with alcohol mostly, for a very long time. I'm not the person to give advice on burnout because I've been unable to solve that problem myself. I mean, my solution is just to get more burned out and to keep working and to get more burned out. But it's not healthy and it's not good. She's actually way better at the physical work side of it than me, and she loves doing it. So she would sort of keep focus on that, and I would help some, but I would focus more on the company side of it and clients and all that. Okay. It sounds like you guys have a good division of work. How hard would it be to start it? Excuse me. How hard would it be to start it on the side, nights and weekend? Well, not nights, but weekends. And then as it grows, maybe don't make the switch all at once. Maybe have some overlap there to cushion. Or maybe just fucking pull the Band-Aid off and say, no, I'm a landscape architect now, and that other career is in the rearview mirror. Yeah, burnout has been the bane of my career, probably. In my head, I was thinking of a conversation I had many years ago with someone about burnout. That was the moment I realized I was burned out, and that I had been for a really long time. Okay. Let's play some fucking. Want to get burned out? Get a fucking PhD. There you go, Regulation Mean Girl. Any advice for someone having surgery for the first time? Oh. I don't know what kind of surgery it is. I mean, enjoy the convalescence. You get to lay up and watch TV for a while. That'll be nice. Coffee mug is a fire in the hole from Silver Dollar City. I mean, if you can work a sabbatical out, I recommend you do it. But that sabbatical had a lot. That sabbatical was about other stuff. That sabbatical has the burnout was a part of it for sure, but it was more that I couldn't handle the burnout and the other stuff going on in my life, and I had to stop and take time to deal with that so that I could get back to focusing on burnout. Listen to your doctor, do all the prep, and explain any pain, discomfort, or fear you have. You'll get through it. Hell yeah. There you go, Scott. Recovering from a vasectomy and Tylenol Plus, laying on the couch has been a decent weekend. Yeah, I had my vasectomy was easy. I remember it was no big deal. Don't push yourself. Yeah, there's no reason to push yourself. That's a great Youngster 8 has a great recommendation there. Follow the advice of the doctors. They spent more time in school than all of us put together to learn these very important skills, and so listen to them. That's why they're doctors. Just happy that we worked for a company that allowed you. I didn't have much choice. I would have quit if they didn't let me take it. I also started the company, so it wasn't like who's going to tell me no, Barney. You know. But I agree. It was I was in it was an exceptionally fortunate situation to be able to take a sabbatical. It's a rare thing. It's absolutely a rare thing. But I also would have quit the job to to take the time if I had to. I needed it that badly. Does LeBron get his 5th ring this year? Good Lord. He does not. Does he only have... No, wait, hold on. Yeah, I guess he's only got 4, huh? Yeah, I guess it would be his 5th. Imagine getting your sabbatical request denied by Joel. Do I think one of KD's teammates took out his knee? I don't know. We'll hear a tweet about it in 6 months. Led to great things. That's very kind of you to say, Longus. That's what we're here for, Regulation Spectator. He back-to-back Cavs Lakers. Yeah. I just had to go through them in my head. It's weird to think that he only has 4 because he's been to the finals so many times. He's been to the finals at least 9 times now, right? That's not a great record for him, especially considering Jordan was 6'4". I'm so out of football right now, Beeford. I'm so stuck on... I'm not even into baseball yet this season. I'm so focused on basketball and hockey that I haven't paid any attention to football or really even past opening day baseball. I had part of my colon removed. I go back to work tomorrow, actually. Do what your doctor tells you. Take it easy. Stay hydrated. That's a good one. You're going to be fine. You're in good hands. Wishing you the best of luck and a speedy recovery. See, these guys are so much better at that kind of advice than I am. Eugen fan, thank you for the sub. OKC Boston Finals. I don't think so, Team Fresh. I think it's going to be in my family bracket. I did. I think it's going to be San Antonio, Boston. I do. I'm excited about WNBA as well. I did follow the draft a little bit. I found a comment. There's been Trade City over there too. No matter the post, you're a comment leaver. That's true. Do you think Orlando can beat Detroit? No, I don't think so. I mean, Orlando seems to be peaking at the exact right moment. They've been a disappointment the entire season up until that play-in game. And now they look like a different team, but I don't know how sustainable it is. And I think that Detroit got punched in the mouth, and they are a very good, very tough, dominating physical team. And I will say that out of everybody they're going to face, Toronto and Orlando are probably the biggest, toughest teams that they could go against. And so Orlando is a good matchup for them, but I think that they come out. I think they win in 6 probably. Yeah, they're going to win in 6. Detroit wins in 6. You think Wagner is Orlando's best player, not Banchero? I don't know. I think it might be Anthony Black, honestly. I think Wagner and Banchero have both been a bit of a letdown. Well, Wagner can't stay fucking healthy. You did be happy to see the Magic be successful. Good morning, Mr. Furrow Mustache. No, I think is regulation listener builds a fence for regulation. Does that make me a comment leaver since they left a post? If they open their mouth during. All right, let's get into the game. Waka waka. This is the poorest we've been in a while. Uh-oh. I realized I forgot how to play for a second. Okay. Man, it has been... I don't think we've played... I haven't played this since last Wednesday, so... Wait. Why is... I thought I... Oh, I already... I'm so stupid. So stupid. Okay. So I had to refamiliarize myself with our shit. It's been so long. It's I'm a little out of the loop, I feel like. just throw that there, please. There's no boxes outside. Okay. In that case, let's go over here. How does I'm trying to remember the I don't remember the buttons. There we go. I've been playing so much Octopath Traveler over the weekend. Trying to finish that game. Just put it right there. Playing so much Octopath. You wouldn't believe it. You'd probably believe it. I don't know why you wouldn't believe it. Yep. All right. Nothing there. We can go ahead and put this box away, though. We don't have to leave it out. Okay. Right before we left, we spent a shitload of money, apparently, because we look broke. All right. We're good on smells. We're good on... Could be better on smells over there. Let's do that. Fuckfear says he won't believe it. It's not believable. It can't be done. Can't be believed. Anyway, I really need to get past this Octopath Traveler 0 so I can move on to other games because I'm like 110 hours in or something. I gotta be getting close, though. I think I've completely finished 2 of the 3 storylines. I just have 1 mission left on the other, and then it's just cleaning up in-game bosses and stuff, which I do want to do. I don't know if I'll get all the achievements. I haven't even really looked at the achievements, but maybe I'll do them all. I don't know. We'll see. Multiple card openers. Always opening packs. Dude, if you're living that large, that's pretty impressive. We're a humble little shop still. Just the 1 card opener for us. We can barely even... This is the first day we've ran out of storage in a while, but here we are. Dude, just... I love that he just tosses it. It's like, yeah, it's right here. Fine, whatever, fuck it. Okay. Today we build a tournament. Today we build a tournament. I love that it puts an X next to it, but then it's A to delete it. All right, we're going to stop at the bottom. Top 8 are going to get $5 packs each. What else? Let's see what else we have. What do we have a lot of? This. Oops. I saw comments, speaking of Schnee mode, I saw comments on that video of the break show. People being so fucking confused why it was, we were saying it was Schnee mode and not Smee mode. But that's the whole point, is that it was, the guy's last name was Schneeman, and we were making the joke that he was going Schnee mode, similar to Smee mode. And everybody was like, all this time I thought it was Smee, not Schnee. It is Smee. That annoyed me. I don't know why, but it did. Had nothing to do with Ruby. Yeah, the cat's named Bob Hoskins as Smee. When he goes crazy, he goes Smee mode. What the fuck is... how do I close this? That's not what I want. All right. So last place gets that and this. Okay. Then second place. And yeah. And then third. And then the big prize is going to be let's see what we got in the you. Guess I can't do that yet. Okay. Wait. Idiot. I could have done that. Don't be so stupid. And let's do one more. Okay, first place is going to be nice card, that, and that, that, and that's good enough. 150, 50, 10, 30. Whoa. We need to up the game on this one, huh? Why would... We can't have second place being worth more than... last place being worth more than second place. Let's, Can't. That's lame. All right, let's figure this out. Maybe you don't get this. 17, 21, 50. Okay. Let's do a $25 entrance fee. And let's... No more slots available for you. That seems good, right? $25. What's this one? 17. That seems unfair. So you can put... Oh, that's cool. That's really cool to know. I do want to... We're going to do a $15 registration for this thing. We're just going to run an easy contest. Not going to make a ton of money or anything, but we're going to get people in the door. Okay. We'll come up with bigger and better prizes in the future. That's something I can always work on, and I need to. Wait a second. Why are you behind the counter? I need you restocking the shelves as your primary task. And I need you manning the counter, please. I need you restocking the shelves as your primary task. And then I need you doing refill scent as your secondary task. Okay, now that should bring you in. Okay, let's open up, huh? Do we have cards out? We have a few. Well, I'll do them while we roll. Good morning. Hello, welcome to Goof Time Cards and whatnot. Oh, I forgot to put kept these out here. Smart. High IQ play there. He's got that going. He's got that going. Everything's going. Let's see. What can I do? I can buy. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I'll do that. All day. Regulation Waffle. Subscribe. Thank you very much. Box has no item in it. No shit. Sell these bad boys over here. Excuse me. Meow. Okay. There we go. You go ahead and start. And see what else we need to buy here. Man, the scanner's amazing, isn't it? Yeah, we definitely need those. Anything else we need? Yes. Oh, no, we have those. What is this we need? Okay. Well, where are those? They are. Excuse me. Okay. I'll be with you in just a second. Hello. Yeah, sure. Yeah, why not? What do we got here? Ah, these. Yes. No. Here. Oof. Just flying off the rack. Speaking of flying off the rack, I'm very excited about the new I almost can't say it. New Gerpler. Gerpa. Is that what you are? Oh, no, you're here. You're here. No. No, you're here. Where was the other yellow? Was it over? Not you. Not you. It'd be you, the yellow version of you. I thought I saw it. I did not. I also have a scanner that I can check. Yeah, we don't have that. Okay. Looking good. What we got? Maybe $8 for it. Oops, hit the wrong button. No, well, wasn't meant to be, huh? We don't know for sure who's not here. Regulation Exterminator letting everybody know there's bugs in Florida. Mark, are you familiar with the bugs of Florida? Nope. Go fuck yourself, Geoff. How about you? Here I am trying to just get... Nope. Go fuck myself again. Trying to help you out, but I feel like I'm just probably getting in your way, buddy. Soon? It's a cool poster I got, huh? Did you notice? Got that for you. I don't have it. I'd love to do it. I don't have it. Killed another scorpion last night. Scorpions are the worst. They're everywhere in Austin. I haven't had any in this house, though. I used to get them in the old house from time to time. Not a fan. Absolutely. No problem, bud. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oops. What are you? Yeah, that's fine. Okay. Florida State bird should be the love bug. When I visited Austin, everyone was so chill about scorpions. I thought they were crazy. You get used to them. I'm going to be honest with you. You're asking so much more than this fucking card is worth. You're not going to like my counter. Okay. Loved my counter offer. Let's put that right out on the table. Fuck it. They don't all have to be graded, you know? We can sell raw cards on occasion. Why can't I pick... I've lost my mental shorthand for this game. Need to get it back. Guy like me is going to pay $19 for that. Okay. Guy like you's not going to sell it to me. That's fair. Might have been aggressively priced. Sure. How we got people sneaking in? How we got people stinking in? Meow. There you go. Clean now. It's a service we provide here at the store. We're all stinkeroonies. All right, I'm getting it back. Okay. I'll let him do his job. Talk to this person. Nope. Raggedy Mammal says, I moved to San Antonio about a month ago and haven't had to deal with scorpions for 20 years. Got to get used to it again. Yeah. Depends on where you live. Like I said, I don't interact with them at all here, but where I used to, my old house, I would find them in my bathroom sometimes, which is annoying at like 4 in the morning. You get up to take a piss and you look down and there's a fucking scorpion right next to your foot. Yeah. But I never got stung. So it wasn't too big of a problem. Definitely getting... Yeah. Okay. Working in the South Texas area for the past... I hear a lot of people say that they see them everywhere, but in 2 years, I've seen less than 10 alive. My daughter and I were discussing classic Southern dishes the other day and your white food aversion. As a good Southern man, we need to know, where do you stand on cream gravy? Like biscuits and gravy? I can eat it. Like sausage gravy, I can eat it. It's an acceptable white, but I wouldn't probably go out of my way to do so, if that makes sense. Yeah. Enjoy, but don't crave. How about that? Appreciate, but don't ever lust over. Wait, I do have these in storage or I don't? On shelf, 12 of 12. Where are these on shelf? Do I actually have these, or is it fucking with me? Am I stupid? Just misreading it. All right. There we go. You had a question mark? You had a question, sir? Come on. Oops, I did that on accident. You son of a bitch. You took me for a ride. Oh, run these. Sausage, biscuits, and gravy. Yeah, I'll eat it. Which wouldn't say I often am like clamoring for it. But definitely a food I'll eat. Is this the one? Yeah. I got the money. Okay. 9 o'clock. All right, here we go. That day fucking flew by. I gotta remember how to work the cash register. We'll be with you in just a second, bud. Let me just ring these people up. What you got? Yeah, sure. Yeah. Matt Murdoch. Assume you'll open these and then fight crime. City needs you. Okay, what are we looking at? I can't be fucking with that right now. I'm trying to get out of here. I'm trying to get home and eat dinner. Okay. Okay. Whoa, a lot of those, huh? Ah, fuck. Yeah, I thought you'd keep 50 cents. Why do I have a 50-cent? Oh, I must have done that. I can do 19 for it. Okay, thank you so much. You have a great day. How we doing back here? All good? What we got in here? All good? Okay. Get out of here. Get out of here. I have 8 in storage, huh? No, I have 0 in storage, but I will have 8 after I buy it. That's what it is. All right, let's end it. That might be the best day of profit we've ever made. $37,000 essentially. Mr. Fedora works. Mr. Fedora Mustache has a stupid early day and a stupid late night. Let's get the boys in. Let's see what we got. Put it front and center. 10, 10, 9, huh? Not bad at that. Boom, boom, boom. That's a new one. $54,000 card. Thanks, Mr. Fedora Mustache. Yeah, I opened the mail that we had and it wasn't in there. I'm gonna go to the mailbox probably today, depending on how I feel. I'm feeling a little under the weather, a little nauseous this morning. I just realized. 47,000. Jesus Christ. And then a lowly 3,000. Embarrassing. For the last like 15 minutes or so, I've been very quietly, because I haven't been whining about it, very nauseous. I don't know why. Man, the older you get, the weirder your body acts in ways that it didn't used to. Why would I be nauseous now? All right, he's working. Let's just flip this over and go. New submission. You. 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 What are we looking at down here? You. Any ghosts? No. Any Tetramon? Yes. And that's it. We'll do 7 days, $40. Why not? Okay. Are you pregnant? I hope not. This guy like tender tummy as I get older. I don't like it. Yeah, sure. As you get older, the body becomes weak and loser-like. It's annoying. Go ahead and refill. Don't need to do it. Oh, let's check on our contest. See how that's doing. Halfway there. Okay. Can't decide if I really want this. If you can't decide, then you do. You definitely want it. Definitely need you. I guess I don't. Exactly. I definitely don't need you. Okay. We don't even really have to. We have so much money now, it doesn't really even matter. Fuck me, really? All right, well, I can do this one. It's expensive, but I'll fucking take it. Start putting those boxes over there. Honestly, you know what we can do? I got a better idea. Move you over there. Yeah, that's nice. I'm sorry, I can't be fucking around with that. Okay, let's put some cards down, huh? Probably. That's fine. Okay. Don't worry, I'll move the boxes. But fill that bad boy up, huh? Can we buy this? We can, we have. Okay. We're good. 2 of these fuckers. I'm gonna be out here when I do it though, so that I can try to get ahead of him. Don't do anything interesting for the next 20 minutes. I wasn't planning on it. I was not planning on it. I have a nerve in my arm I hurt, and the doc said, yeah, it's gonna just hurt sometimes now. I'm like, cool, is this forever? Yeah, I got a couple of forever pains. Give you $3 for it. Okay. I had a good time at the break show yesterday. For anybody that tuned in, got into some pop culture and ephemera stuff that I'd never seen before. These American Pie cards, not the movie, but just like, you know, American nostalgia cards. And we pulled well, it was funny because it was a British dude, but we pulled I did some research on it last night, a buyback card from a 1964 card set of the Beatles. We got a Paul McCartney number 165, maybe. And you can buy the card raw for like $30 or $40, but to buy the Topps Archive stamped version, run you probably $100. Oh, it was a pretty cool little hit. It's a printed auto, not actual auto, but still very cool. Ask price, market price. I'll give you a 44. I'll give you 4. I'll give you 40 for it. Excuse me. Go. What are these? These are big warehouse shelves, right? Who's got storage now? These aren't the sexiest improvements we've just made, but man, the fucking traffic flow is going to be so much easier now. Annoying to get to you, but I can just move you back over here, actually. See if you'll fit. You won't. You won't. Okay. You live there now. That's fine. Not ideal, but still infinitely better than where we were. Great. You don't need to do that anymore, bud. Now you can just put it right on the shelf. I got shelves for days. All right, you working? How's things going over here? You doing good? Tell you what, I'm going to give you a bonus just because you've been working hard. And I'm going to give you a bonus just because you've been working hard. You guys, I recognize it. You guys are both kicking ass. I really appreciate it. You're both, like, no problem, which is the coolest thing. You guys just have your heads down. You do your job. Just wants you to know it doesn't go unappreciated. I got 80 in storage, huh? 1 on the shelf. That'll be for him to deal with. And definitely going to need one of those. Definitely have those. What about you? Okay. Geoff, if the makers of this game made real Tetramon cards, would you buy them? Physical cards? I'd buy them for the break show as a joke, but I don't know that I'd get into it or something. Isn't that where they're headed, though? Aren't they going to try to make this a playable game? I mean, this is a playable game, obviously, but you know what I mean, Tetramon. Dude, they bought all those fucking cards. Jeez, I got so many of these fucking things. Okay. Yeah, Nintendo, man, they definitely are not cool with competitors. Look at Pal World. Sued the shit out of those guys, I think. Do we still got boxes out here? Yeah. You still working on that? I'll help you. Ah! My biggest enemy in this game is that fucking front door. I swear to God. Just a second, bud. Yeah. Yeah. Keep the customer happy, right? Almost done. You guys like those standing desks? I remember Bernie had one for a while. I think he talked about it more than he used it, though. But I don't know. Maybe he seemed to really dig it. I think Gavin might have one. I think Menage passed. That's good. I was a little worried I was going to have to bitch out early, but I think I'll be all right. Try to stand an hour or two a day while working. Hell yeah. I tell you what I got that I've been, well, I didn't get it. Emily got it, but that I've been really appreciating and taking advantage of is TikTok is awash with those vibrating plates. So you just stand on it and it fucking vibrates. I've been using one of those. Those things are awesome. I'm really getting into using the vibrating plate for 10 minutes at a time. Or you. Everything okay back there, Albert? He's breathing like he's going through it. He's breathing like a bulldog. Oh, didn't need you. What's up? Okay. So you just fucking walked away. No. That's not where it goes. That's where it goes. What you got, my friend? A nice solid PSA 2. I'll give you $16 for it. Cool. Things going well here. Gaining XP. Love to see that. Did he sell these two yet? Oh. Sell these two yet? No. Well, now we can't be dealing with that. Okay. We are closed. Okay. Some good card value out of that. Actually, it wasn't great. Oh. Weird. Yeah, that's a better price. Okay. Hey, man. We're going to go ahead and close up for the rest of the day. You can stay here as long as you need to, all right? If you just need a quiet, calm place to hang out, you're cool. All right. Call it. Will you ever stop running the shop and just focus on getting the achievements? Well, I've lost $1,700. What are the achievements? Gotta keep playing to do that. I'll get that eventually. This will be fun. Collect a set of cards graded from 1 to 10. Am I going to get Warhammer Survivors? What's that, Mark? What's Warhammer Survivors? Not sure. I'm familiar with it. Oh, what is this? Okay, we'll put them here. 1, 2. get it going. We can stock as we sell, huh? Got that motivation. Got 80 of these in storage. Which are these? Okay. I trust he'll grab them, but if we have 80 in storage, I might as well see if I can. Is that them? No. Well, yeah, well, you'll figure it out. I need to order cards to rip. God, these are so expensive. $800 for 2 boxes for 64 packs. I'm not doing this again. I was about to say, you know, I never heard what Mark said. I bet he's annoyed with me. And I tuned in just in time to see. Okay. Trying to do too many things at once. All right, Mark, I'll tell you what. I'm going to go back in the chat, and I'm going to find out what you said. Vampire Survivors, but 40K. All right, well, this is going to annoy you. But I don't know what Vampire Survivors is either, Mark. Is that a game? Is it a video game? God. We have 80 in storage. Where are they? We don't, though. Do I get hidden boxes? We definitely don't have 80 in storage. Is the king of accidentally rage baiting people. I also like to intentionally rage bait people, too. Let's not... I'm kind of into that also. And I'd like to think that I do it in such a way that it's difficult to tell if I'm doing it on purpose or not. Tiberium is the way and the life. Thank you for the sub, Death Lexicon. Mark sounds like somebody who's repeated something 3 to 5 times. Yeah, he. Geoff the Masturbator. Anyway, I'm not familiar with Vampire. What was it? Vampire Fighter? Vampire. Fuck, what was it? Vampire Warriors? Is that what it's called? Vampire Fighters? Vampire. Sad Vampires? Vampire Survivors. They survived. Controller died. So I'm not familiar with Vampire Survivors. I don't know if that's something Mark wants to explain or somebody else in the audience. Mark's too mad to talk to me, even though I answered and I went back and I figured it out. Or somebody else has the answer, but I'm just not familiar. Ooh, it says I have a lot in storage. Yeah, well. Sad Vampire sounds cooler, though. Great game. I picked a great time to join. I have a Brotherhood of Nod tattoo, and Tiberium is my main character name in WoW. There you go. I assume that's Warhammer stuff. It's addictive because of numbers and flashy lights. Gameplay-wise, it's about 1 inch deep. Oh, shit. Are we talking about Vampire Survivors? Nobody... Thank you, Insano Dad, for the only person to answer the question. Vampire Survivors is a rogue light game like Superbonk. It's hit or miss with people who like it. I have 100 hours in it and recommend it to people. There's a bunch of... Fuck no. There's a bunch of DLC for Ball Pit. I think it's on its 2nd DLC. I need to get into that. ASAP. It's ASAP. I need to get into that after... I told myself the other day that I would jump back into Ball Pit after I finish Octopath, which is proven to be hell of a game. I'm going to put 140 hours into that game probably when it's all said and done. I won't be doing that. You should be ashamed for asking me for that trade because you know it's a bad trade. Oh, those in storage apparently. I don't. There we go. Starting to understand the game finally. Again. It's so weird to take extended breaks off of games like this. There's always a problem I had at when we got criticized for it a lot. The problem I had at Rooster Teeth with Achievement Hunters, you would play a game a lot for 2 days, and then you'd put it down, and you wouldn't play it again for 6 months, and you pick it up again, and you feel fucking stupid, and everybody's like, how can you not remember the controls? And it's like, I don't know, probably because I played 400 different video games between that last time I played this one and now. And they're all different. Jump is Y for some reason, you know. Yeah. That's how JRPG. Yeah, man, I hit about 70 hours that I hit, 70, 80 hours I hit an Octopath, and I thought I'm fucking right there at the end. And then I realized I didn't know how to play the game fully yet. Like that I was still trying to figure out team balancing and appropriate ultimates and stuff, and the way to build the most powerful teams. And I had a lot left to figure. I was like, how did I get 70 hours in this game and not understand this element of it? But I think that's kind of the way the game wants you to go. Did you guys in AH as talent ever make decisions on what games to play or continue playing, or was it mostly data-driven? Well, first off, Notorious Kiwi, I think the question, and I don't mean this negatively, but I think the premise of the question is flawed in the sense that the guys in AH as talent made all the decisions in terms of what to play and what not to play. We definitely consulted. We definitely paid attention to the YouTube algorithm, and we definitely made attempts at making content that would get seen by the most amount of people, obviously. But not nearly as much as you guys think. We got shit on a lot for it. Or maybe not shit on's not the right word at all. We got criticized for it a lot, chasing the algorithm, and we admitted that, you know, we had to do that from time to time, but we didn't do it nearly as much as people accused us of doing it. And I think if we had, we probably would have been better at it. And for the most part, we only... That's not true. I was going to say we only played games we want to. There were times when we would be far enough into a game when I just felt like trapped by it, you know? I didn't want to play it anymore on occasion. But for the most part, if we played a game in Achievement Hunter, somebody wanted to play it. May not have been everybody, but somebody wanted it and was into it. And I was always fucking... I felt this... I know Gavin felt it too. I felt this this intense burden to come up with stuff constantly, and I was desperate for the other guys to create shows and to come up with games to play and other ideas, because I was, you know, I needed the help. I'd been doing it for so many years, and you can only keep that engine going so long with your own creativity. You know, you need... And so that's why people like Jeremy and Matt were so instrumental in extending, I think, the life of Achievement Hunter, because they were incredibly creative and they came in. And Jeremy especially, man, I felt like Jeremy was just a fountain of ideas. He always had, like, from Chump, and like he and Trevor made their shows together, and he was always like, Jeremy was always trying to figure out the next thing to make. And he was always trying to create new content to make, and new ideas. And I really, really, really respect him as a creator, as a creative person, But I really genuinely appreciated him and Achievement Hunter for that. There were times when I would felt like I would screaming at the wall for anybody to come up with an idea, and Jeremy was always had his hand in something. Life of the party type. He's just a hardworking dude who like the thing I think where I connected with Jeremy on is that dude loves what he does. Probably to an unhealthy extent, but he loves what he does. He loves creating, whether he's making, I'm speaking for him here, a guy I don't talk to very much anymore, but from writing his own novels to Let's Plays to making his own music to coming up with new game shows like Chump, he was always trying to create, and he was always trying to express his creativity in new ways, and he was always pushing himself. Pushed himself too hard. We all do, though. But pushed himself too hard, I think, at times, but just was just a fountain of creativity. Still is. I say was as if he's not currently. He is, 100%. Hell of a dude. Feel much the same way about Matt. I think if Jeremy hadn't moved back home, he'd be part of one of the groups that spun off. Maybe. Or he would have carved his own thing out, you know, here like he did there. I don't know. Hindsight and all. Feels weird to be a Regulation fan that wasn't really into RTAH. Lots of lore to catch up on. You know what, though? I hope it doesn't feel that way, because we are doing our goddamnedest since... Hold on a second. We got breaking news. Billy Donovan is exiting head coach of the Bulls after 6 seasons. That's a fucking... Not a surprise there, huh? I will say... we did our damnedest from the moment we created Fuckface On to create an entirely new cinematic universe. An entirely new entertainment universe that existed as a bubble inside of the larger company that was Rooster Teeth at the time. And we had such little interaction, and that was by choice. You know, we would let people come in on occasion. Jack played a role in Fuckface, you know, with his thing at the end of videos. And there were moments. We let Becca come in and do a taste test with us one time. But we tried very hard and very intentionally and very purposefully to create a universe that was entirely on its own and separate from Rooster Teeth. There has to be some bleed over and bleed through because of the talent and the personalities and the people and the longevity of Achievement Hunter and Rooster Teeth jokes that persist. And so some of that bleeds in here and there. But my goal with Fuckface and now Regulation is to create a community of people that is not reliant on Rooster Teeth or that history or that legacy, and that anybody can pick up and find and have never fucking heard of Achievement Hunter and be able to sit down and enjoy and love and jump into and catch the rhythm of and ride the wave of entertainment that is Regulation without having to look in the rearview mirror at all in any way whatsoever. And I hope that we've been able to accomplish that, because that's been probably the most intentional thing we've done with the start of Fuckface until today, is try to separate the two. Did I get a lot of pushback when you tried to keep Fuckface on its own? I got an amount. I need to check these people out. I got an amount of pushback. I wouldn't say it was a lot, and it wasn't anything I couldn't deal with. You know, it was a weird situation to be in because I was no longer an owner of the company. You know, we'd been sold a couple times over at that point. I was just an employee. But I did have the cachet of the longevity of my time there, and I was able to flex and use that on occasion in situations. And so there was definitely pushback. There was a lot of pushback to the name, but I'll toot my own horn for a minute and say that I had such a track record of success in the company, and I think I'm a pretty good salesman, unfortunately. Not something I particularly enjoy doing, but I learned pretty early on that at least half of what you do in production, especially if you're a creator, is sell it to people, sell it to the sell it to the company, sell it to the e-com department, sell it to the marketing department, sell it to sales, sell it to the cast, you know? The amount of shit that I would bring into Achievement Hunter, and I'd go, okay, now they're going to say no to this. He's going to say no to that. She's going to say no to that. He's not going to be into this software. But I understand, and I have this grand vision in my head where I think like this is going to work if I get everybody to buy in. So how do I get him to buy in? I explain it to him like this. How do I get him to buy in? I approach him like with it like this. How do I get her to buy in? I approach it like this. And then so much of that behind the scenes stuff that you guys will never see and will never understand because it was all behind the scenes. So much of what I did was just selling ideas that I had or that we had to people either within Achievement Hunter or within Rooster Teeth at large, and trying to get the money and the resources to get those made. And I was pretty good at that part of it, and I'm pretty proud of the work I did there. So there was pushback. There was more pushback on the name than the separate nature of the universe. But we were able to overcome both. And it wasn't a big deal. And I think pretty early on, the management understood the success of Fuckface. It was, we went from 0 to the second biggest podcast in the company, and then eventually the biggest podcast in the company. And then for a while, probably the most, at least from a profit margin, the most successful. It didn't make the most money, but it was the most profitable production we did in the company for the last couple of years, and that helped a lot. What was personally frustrating is I felt we were creating a refined approach to creating content for an audience and for a community, and the give and take that we had. And in some ways, to me, Fuckface was a bit of a beta test on the future of Rooster Teeth and how we could do things. And I even sat down one time, we're getting into the weeds here. I even sat down one time with someone, and we created a PowerPoint presentation, like a 10-slide PowerPoint presentation on the Fuckface way, essentially, like how we're doing things differently than the rest of the company is and why we're having success, how we're approaching the audience, how we're dealing with community, how we're introducing merch into the community, how we're making it a part of the comedy, and how we're trying to create like this deeper environment for both us and for the audience to play in. And put a lot of work into this PowerPoint presentation, and then fucking presented it, and then nobody in the company that made content seemed to give a shit, or it certainly didn't use any of my ideas. And so we took our talents elsewhere after we were made to, because the company went under. You know what I mean? I agree, Presto. It's a phenomenal community, the regulation community. And I think it's entirely distinct and different community than the Achievement Hunter or Rooster Teeth community in every way. And that's been a real focus for us. Not to get rid of the Achievement Hunter community, but to build something new and positive and supportive, and with what feels like equity on both sides, I guess. The thing I'm most proud of in my career, reinventing the thing until we get it right. Regulation makes me feel connected. I'm really glad to hear that Regulation Moon grow. It makes me feel connected to you guys in the same way, in a way, in a way that I'd lost over the years at Rooster Teeth. First time comment on any content after being an avid watcher of YouTube VODs and growing increasingly more frustrated at the incredible ways you, Geoff, yourself through this, put yourself through this game. I'll drop occasional tips. Yeah, please do. I'm always like half playing, half talking to y'all, so I'm doing a bad job of both most of the time, probably. It's a sad that it's over, but happy that it happened situation. Yeah, I agree. If I hadn't gone through the Rooster Teeth process, I wouldn't be here with you guys now. We wouldn't have been able to create Regulation, wouldn't have been able to create Fuckface, I wouldn't have been able to create Achievement Hunter, I wouldn't have been able to create Let's Play, I wouldn't have been able to create anything that we did if it weren't for I don't know how far back you want to take it, but if it weren't for those early days. Danstad says, that's a great name, Danstad74. Absolutely couldn't have said it better myself. Found RT season 1 of RVB and always thought AH was the best of what they did, but regulation eclipses it all. And this is definitely an amazing community family of supportive people. I completely agree. Just sitting in here in the mornings and just getting to, I don't know, share stories and talk about interests and learn about your lives and support people going through stuff and then celebrate when they get to celebrate. Like the Marnet job saga has been maybe my favorite thing of this entire streaming project that I've been doing for over a year now. Watching Marnet go through the ups and downs of job search and the frustrations and getting to be there and hopefully make them laugh or just like let them know that they're not alone and that this whole community is supporting them. And then when he finally gets the job and we all get to celebrate and really feel so fucking warm and good and genuinely happy for this person I've never met in the real world, and probably maybe never will meet, but feel just like so genuinely invested in him and his career. It's awesome. It's like the best thing. I didn't know the full context of the conversation, but I can certainly say that listening to the Regulation Pod and Anima 2 over the last few months has been so heartwarming. Geoff and co have always made content that allowed me to find a new way to move forward. That's very sweet of you to say. Thank you. You got this. That Marnet knows. Better than anybody in this chat, Marnet knows. I'm glad that this is a much healthier, positive space, Caesar. I really want that for us, for all of us. You are among friends, Share, and you are among compatriots that have been going through it, and some of us in the community are still going through the job search and still riding the highs and the lows of that process. So you're in the right place for support. Always keep growing. It's very, very kind, Valiant Manor. I read that. I think the only thing I really miss from AH is the videos of y'all just fucking around in the office. But see, we do dirtbag sodas and flat sandwiches really scratch that itch. Okay, I was about to say, yeah. Not wanting to do more if you don't want to, but the wall you talked about being animals around crappy offices makes me wish I could have my own little dillbot on occasion. We do. I mean, we definitely don't do it as much as between the games, but we do it every time we have an idea. We have a bit barrel full of ideas that we can do. But I would say we try to film at least a live action thing every week or two. Most recently would be, was it the Dirtbags? No, we've done stuff more recently than that. We just filmed Nick's Cheese Gauntlet, so we got that coming out. There's a live action video coming out pretty soon. RT lived, it happened, and now it's time for all to move on to new horizons. I'm glad for the time it happened. It wouldn't trade. That's how I feel about it too. And I'm also happy for the people that are, for Bernie for buying Rooster Teeth and keeping it going. And I love that. I love that he's maintaining the legacy and then it's back in his hands and he's very happy. But yeah, it's the same kind of thing where it's like, I'm so happy to have been there, but I'm not there anymore. And I'm happy for the people that are still on that journey, but I'm just so excited about the journey that we're on, I don't want to turn it into a plug, but the book is called Therist. My profile has a link to a free ebook. That's right, Must Love Tacos. It's in the regulation library right now. I was just organizing it yesterday. I think I'm going to dive into it either when I finish Infinite Jest or book 2 of Horus. You guys are coming up with more ideas than you can film and release. That's good. That's okay. That's a good problem to have, Who Let the Rats Out. Because some of those ideas, they do get lost to time. But it's okay to lose an idea. Chances are the DNA of that idea or the spirit of that idea will get reformatted and find a place somewhere else in the content down the road. But if it doesn't and it just gets dropped, then there probably wasn't enough there. Or it's probably okay that it got dropped, if that makes sense. I feel like the really good ones rise to the top. Oh, sure. Pronounced sure. Okay, sure. Sure thing. But I will say I've continued to be inspired by how you used to speak about starting H, that it was something nobody was taking seriously, and you essentially had to create your own legitimacy. I feel like I've been having to do that my whole fucking life, sure. Yeah. I don't think people look at me and think, I'll bet on that guy, you know? I don't blame him. I wouldn't mind a position at Goof and Go. Yeah. I would like to find a way to get Andrew in there, but I think it's only a 4-player game. Mom path now and career-wise, but because of you and Jack and hearing everyone here and you talking, it reminds me that sometimes it's okay to interact with the people who inspire us. That's very kind of you to say, Blaze. I hope it's not a letdown. Small thing, but Mercy Kitty's going over here saying, it's a small thing, but I tore my ACL on the job last year, and regulation actually kept me from going insane from boredom as I recovered. Tearing your ACL is not a small thing. That's like the biggest injury you can get in sports, at least in basketball. That's a year-long recovery. Don't diminish that, man. Congratulations on making it through, too, Mercy. I'm glad we were able to take your mind off of it for a little bit, because that must have been a really long and annoying and painful and frustrating recovery. I just watched Jason Tatum go through it in media. It's been brutal. Duckface helped me get through my first big project at my job, and I haven't stopped listening. Thank you for everything. Thank you, Beeford. Your name is one of the most enjoyable to say. Beeford. It makes me laugh in my head every time I say it. I feel like I'm saying it wrong. I don't know. What is Infinite Jest again? It's not Infant Jest. Infinite Jest is a book by David Foster Wallace that is considered one of the greatest literary triumphs of the 20th century, and also one of the most inaccessible and difficult to read. Not like in a Paradise Lost Milton kind of way, or Finnegan's Wake kind of way, but it's definitely, I'm on my 5th attempt at reading it, and I'm further than I've ever been, but I still have, I don't know, 1,000 pages to go or something. I live in Bahrain. I'm sorry, I'm trying my best to keep up with the chat. I feel like I'm pretty far behind. Jake Bull says, are you a Bulls fan, a Michael Jordan fan, or is that just happenstance? 30 years old, have been watching you for 15 years. Game tip, pay your cashier a bonus at the beginning of each day. Oh, hell yeah. That's a good tip. Thank you. That's very kind of you to say, Father Llama. Eric Bador, a torn ACL will change your playoff chances. Yeah, Eric knows what's up. That's minimum. The team is fucked, right? I mean, depending on who it is in the team, but yeah, it's at least, you're missing a season, you know? You're missing at least a season, and that's the fucking worst. And then it's really hard to come back from. I think Kevin Durant said it took him 700 days to feel like he was back to normal. Tatum did it in like 290, but it's unheard of. Most people, somewhere around like 12 to 16 months to recover from an ACL. Eric's here to talk about merch. Thank you for the sub, Greeky Floorboard. That's very kind of you. I love Jack. I don't think I've ever laughed harder than at his exotic bird. Shh, dude, you think you've never laughed harder. Eric, who's in the chat right now, if he still is, that might be the hardest I've ever seen Eric laugh. Like, that tickled him. Watching Eric be delighted at Jack's exotic bird was most of the fun for me. I mean, the whole thing was hilarious, but it got Eric so hard, and it was so fucking funny to watch how tickled he was by it. Don't get to see you in live content, Geoff. It's usually when I'm sleeping, but do you guys make a conscious effort not to talk about world stuff during content? You barely even allude to it, and I wasn't sure how intentional that was. I wouldn't say it's intentional in the sense that we've ever spoken about it. Like we never, there's no like, and Eric, feel free to chime in here. I'm going to jump ahead to, if I can catch your comments. It's not like we've never had a conversation about it. Like, let's not talk about politics, or let's never talk about like what's going on in the world at large. It's, the space is more for us to talk about the funny or ludicrous things that are going on in our lives. So it's far more personal. And I imagine that stuff can bleed in on occasion, but I feel like it's mostly what we're doing is play, right? Like kids at the sandbox at 10 years old may be aware of things that are going on in the world around them that are larger, but when they're in the sandbox and they're playing with their Tonka trucks and they're digging trenches and they're making sandcastles, that's what they're thinking of. That's what they're focused on. That's the point of being in the playground, on the playground, in the sandbox, right? Is to sit down and just focus on the sandbox and what can we make in the sand. And that's what we're doing at Regulation. We're just trying to make what we can in our sandbox. And so I don't think we have a lot of room for what exists outside of the sandbox. I hope that's an adequate explanation. Like I said, it's not something that we've ever even really discussed openly. It's just, I think, the natural inclination of what we're trying to, I think we just all intuit what we're going for and what we're trying to do. I may bitch about, there's real world stuff that seeps in. Like, I'm trying to buy a car. They're too fucking expensive. So I bitch about how expensive cars are next episode. But outside of that, we're not getting too deep. Sometimes being an escape means keeping something separate, and it's very clear how y'all feel about the things without it being everything the content is about. Yeah, I don't think we're hiding how we feel about the world at large, but we're definitely, we're trying to recapture the feeling of being a 14-year-old friends riding bikes on a Friday afternoon after school. That's where my head is when I'm making Regulation. I'm 100% a 15-year-old kid just after school or on a day off of school, just trying to make fun with my friends. You wake up on a summer morning, maybe 3 weeks into summer break, you get up, all you know is you're going to eat a bowl of cereal, and then you're going to get on your bike and you're going to go to a friend's house, and then you don't know what's going to happen after that. You just know it's going to be fun. And you and your friend are going to find something to get up to or to get into, or other friends to meet up with to then get into shit. And that's just what we're doing. Eric taking the piss out of a cop on Sloppy Joe's made me feel nice and safe. Hell yeah. Yeah, wake up. It's early morning cartoons and friends playing N64. Yeah, it's riding It's me and James and Matt riding our bikes to Walmart to play Off Road and Street Fighter 2. That's what Regulation is to me. But we're also not hiding how we feel about the world. I don't think. Dude. Do you guys maybe want to play each other? You guys want to? I wish we could just, in my head canon, these guys stay all night until they feel comfortable leaving. I just feel so weird leaving them here like this. I hope you guys, let me know if you need anything, okay? I'm gonna start the next day. When I was a kid, I just woke up and thought of ways to mess with my brother as a good little sister does. Yeah, very similar. I think of ways to mess with Eric and Gavin. When are we going to play Sloppy Joe's Bingo again? We will. We definitely will be playing it again. I don't have a date for you, but it's coming. It's coming. We've not abandoned Sloppy Joe's. We've just gotten away from a little bit to focus on other stuff. Like I was telling you earlier, you may not have been here, but we in the background are concurrently working on Mario Party March and April, obviously, which we have to film a little bit every day. That takes a lot of focus from us. And then on top of that, we are in the middle of production on Fuck Face Off Season 2, which in itself is a lot. And then, well, we're also getting ready for the anniversary and stuff. But then we also have the Spring Golf League. And so the three of those together just, it makes for a lot. Oh, I just got deja vu. It makes for a lot of. Did I overbuy this? I think I did. Okay. Well, we'll sell them eventually. I hope. These have just been kind of hectic in the background. So doing stuff like Sloppy Joe's Bingo has been a little harder to pull off just because we've got so many behind the scenes things that we're working on ahead of the game to, hopefully entertain you guys with soon. Definitely got those in storage. I feel like there's a hidden compartment of these somewhere. Oh, fuck. I wanted to buy more than I bought. Just go back and do that. Just buy 2 for me. Speaking of Sloppy Joe's Bingo, we do okay as a community fairly regularly on Discord. If you want to scratch the itch and feel free to join us over there. Fucking, I don't know if I'm included in that, but I might take you up on it sometime because I want to play Sloppy Joe's Bingo more than I play. It was a lot easier back when it used to be on YouTube. Like Emily and I, if it was still on YouTube, I bet Emily and I would play it all the time still. Sometimes I'll just leave it up, the live stream up on my computer over here to the left if I'm working at night. Last night was not as poppin' as we thought it would be, but we still had fun. Geoff and Emily do Sloppy Joe's here without the boys one night. Could do. That could happen. Although, probably not. Now that I say that, I feel like at this point, 15-minute warning. I feel like at this point, if I'm going to do it publicly, I should probably just do it with the group. Yeah, I'll give you tell you what, I'll give you a little bit more than you asked for. Okay. Love it. That's a cool card. You're asking for about $800 more than I'm going to pay for it, though. I tell you what, I will give you $36.50 for it, which is almost. Yeah, I just don't think. I think the gulf between us there is too great. Change your mind, come back. $10.15 hard out. Yeah, unfortunately, 14 minutes to go. Gotta go play that Mario. Huh. All right. Where's this fucking... Oh, fuck. I did it again. All right. I'm going to figure this thing out. I don't... Nothing there. There you are. He doesn't seem to want to fill this one, so I'm going to do it. Okay. That was bugging the shit out of me. What do we got? No. Tell you what we don't have is a deal. That was a bad one. Appreciate the offer, though. There we go. Hopefully we will end the day before... the tournament started. Okay, that's good. And 3 hours left on the card processing. Holy shit, there's a lot of people in the store today. I don't have the card to sell you. I wish I'd trade with you. I wish I did. I'm just going to throw some of these bad boys out. I gotta go look at the prices on these guys. They are not selling. I think maybe we've got this guy overpriced. Market price plus 10. That's higher than it was, right? Market price plus 10. Let's just do that. 52 grand is a really good price. Market price. Yeah, there we go. Let's see if we make more traction on those. Do you have anything you keep in mind from RT days that want to not do at regulation, or just trying to keep your mind fresh and open? Yeah, that's a really good question. I feel like a lot of the ideas that I had for RT are for RT, not for us, wouldn't work for us. There are themes and elements and things, but also I kind of like the clean break of it all. Like, I'm pretty good about putting stuff in the rearview mirror, and I've put a lot of that in the rearview mirror. And I also, when I give you guys, I'll tell you something that worked and has helped me my entire career as a creator. And it's any Polo G song you recommend. I love most of his stuff. How about Martin and Gina? That's a good song. Or I'll give you a song of the day in a second. It won't be Martin and Gina by Polo G will be your song of the day. How about that? Okay. So, in terms of like putting ideas in the rearview mirror or holding on to them, the DNA of an idea will exist forever, and it'll find a way into new content. The spirit of it, the thing, a lot of times I looked at ideas as puzzle pieces, and I just didn't know what puzzle they fit into. Or I didn't have the other pieces to put them in, but I knew I had the piece, and I just needed to find the right puzzle to put it in. And so some of that exists, but I also like the hard line of like, this was the past, this is how we did things, this is how we created, this is the thought process, this was the intent behind it. And this, going forward, is different. Slightly, in some ways, a lot in others, none at all in others. But it is different, and I appreciate the separation because it allows for a mental and creative fresh start. But a piece of advice that Bernie Burns gave me in season 1 of Red vs. Blue. I've told this story before many times, but I'm going to tell it to you right here. He and I were working on a scene for... I apologize if I get... Somebody's going to be able to point to this and... Oh, Jesus Christ, hold on. I can't fuck with that right now. Somebody's going to be able to point to this and go, like, you told the story differently 15 years ago on the podcast, and that's entirely possible. So I'm just remembering the spirit of a story that I haven't told in a long time. But I think it was episode 16 of Red vs. Blue, and we were making this scene where the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse show up. Believe it or not, this was going to be a part of Red vs. Blue. This was early on. It might have been 13, might have been 16. I can't exactly remember. But we had ghosts, and it was just he and I. You know, it was mostly he and I for season 1 of RVB, and for better or worse, we worked very well together, but we wanted to kill each other for most of it. But we had, between the two of us, we had to move 4 ghosts up in this formation and then deliver lines with characters. I don't remember who it was. And we tried, I don't know, for what felt like 2 hours, maybe. Might have been even a little longer. And we just couldn't fucking get it. And I was just like, I was beating my head against the wall, metaphorically, just being like, how the fuck? We got to get this. This is brutal. And, you know, we're in an Adobe Audition, and Bernie just highlighted that section of the timeline about 2 hours in, all the audio that was cut together that we're trying to film to. He just fucking deleted it and just moved the other audio over and just killed the scene. And he goes, all right, let's move on. And I went, whoa, whoa, we can get this. It's kicking our ass, but we've done the harder shit. We can get this. Let's keep woke. You need this. You wrote this. This is a funny scene. I laughed my ass off when I read it. I laughed when I delivered the lines or whatever. We need this. And he goes, and he looked at me and he goes, he wasn't being a dick. He just goes, we don't need it. And I go, but it exists. It's funny. It's good. We just gotta get it right. We just gotta film it properly. And he goes, do you think that's the funniest thing we've ever written? And I go, no, but it's pretty good. And he goes, do you think we'll ever write in another scene that's funny again? And I go, yeah. And he goes, well, fucking worry about that then. We can do that. We don't need it. We're still funny, creative. I'm still a great writer. I'll write something in the future that's better than that. Move forward and focus on let it go. Like, we're stuck on this. We're trapped by the scene. We don't need the scene. We're not tied to the scene. Our creativity, our success isn't tied to the scene. So kill it so that we can focus on being funny on the next thing. And man, that changed my worldview a little bit. It really did. I really did. It really I had never been in a period, I was young in my creative career at that point. I mean, I'd been working for, since I was about 15 on this thing, trying to make it as a creator in whatever way I could, but I'd never let anything go before. I'd never seen another creative person let something go. I know, I got to get out and real soon. And watching him just kill something that he worked really hard on so that we could move on to the next thing. And his mindset of like, I wrote a funny thing once, I'll write a funny thing again. I don't need that. That's not who I am. That's just a thing I did. I'll do another thing, And I don't know, man. It changed the way I looked at creating. It took me and that it set a seed that took a very long time to germinate and to evolve as I understood it. But as I understood it and applied it in life later on. But yeah, it was a really one of those like moments that I'll think about for the rest of my life. Was Bernie looking at me and thinking and going, you think I can't write something funny again tomorrow? And going like, yeah, I guess that's true. We're not tied to this moment. So anyway, that's that. Probably told that story better in a million different ways, but a million different times. But that's the essential. And that has been a guiding light for me my entire career since that moment, which is to recognize that I can't be trapped by a production or that guy looks like me. I can't be trapped by a production or a bit or a video or a piece of content because I can't allow it to impede on. Well, not for so long that I can't allow it to impede on future creativity, I guess would be how I'd say it. You gotta be okay to let stuff go and trust that you gotta be okay to let stuff go and trust that you're talented enough and creative enough to do it again in a better way that makes sense or that's doable. All right. I'm going to offer this guy a lot less than he's going to want for it. Like Elsa said, let it go. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of truth in that. There really is. Let's save here with all these people milling about, because we're going to have to go full webcam. It definitely takes the right mindset to make something and say this won't come out, move and make something else. You know, and we got really good at that too. That's another piece of advice I give all the time when people ask me, "Oh, I'm thinking about starting a podcast, or I'm thinking about starting a video series. What's some advice that you can give?" And one of the first pieces of advice I give is, you don't have to show anybody. Like, we made 10 to 12 RT podcasts before we released any, and we didn't release those. Those were burned to test and practice. Even though we liked them and they were good and they were funny, we knew that it was a part of a process where we were testing this out, and we didn't think it needed to necessarily be something that everybody saw. And we do that a lot. I do that a lot in my career. I'll make stuff that I know isn't going to go anywhere as an exercise to help further towards a thing that will. Just because you made it doesn't mean you have to share it or show anybody. It's okay. It's okay not to. I hope Luka Keenan and the 2026 Marcus Smart don't ruin my team in back-to-back games. We'll see. You inspire me, Geoff. That's very sweet. Thank you. I've really enjoyed hanging out with you guys this morning. It was good to get back at it. I missed you guys yesterday, but my wife and I had a staycation at a hotel over the weekend, and I just couldn't get home in time to stream. I was having a lovely breakfast with my wife. M. Miles says, hoping to share good news about the job interview next time I can join. Hell yeah. We're hoping to hear it. Today was lovely. Enjoyed chats with everybody. I did too. I'm happy to be back at it with you guys. Much love to you all as always, especially Mark the Frog, who has a special place in my heart, even though I feel like he's mad at me half the time. And I hope everybody has a fantastic day. And I will be right back here tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. bright and early to play some TCG simulator and spat off a bunch of nonsense that nobody asked for or wants to hear. Old man yells at clouds. See you next time.